I live in a quiet part of town, one of those suburbs where people wave even if they don't know you. Safe, predictable. At least, it always felt that way. I'm 26, live in a small rental with my roommate Hannah, and work a pretty boring job doing admin work for a company that sells office supplies to law firms. Not exactly glamorous, but it pays enough to keep the lights on and lets me work from home once a week, so I can't complain. The night it started, I'd stayed late at the office to finish some end-of-month stuff. I remember the time clearly, 8:12 p.m. I only remember that because I texted Hannah on my way out and she never replied. Just a little, "Leaving now, be home soon." No answer. The office lot was mostly empty by then, just my little car and one other across the street. It was a white SUV, parked weirdly off to the side where the streetlight didn't quite reach. Normally, I wouldn't have thought anything of it. But something about it being right at the edge of the dark bothered me, like someone didn't want to be seen. I didn't see anyone inside. The windows were tinted black, darker than they should have been for legal tinting. I stood there a second longer than I needed to, like I was trying to feel something. Fear, suspicion, anything that would justify my nerves. But I brushed it off, got in my car, drove home. Still, about 5 minutes into the drive, right near the gas station on Monroe, I noticed headlights behind me. At first, it didn't register. Cars follow each other all the time, but this one stayed back, not tailgating, just pacing me exactly. Same turns, same speed. Even when I changed lanes for no reason, I started to feel it then, that rising anxiety like my chest was shrinking. When I pulled onto my street, the SUV didn't turn in behind me. It kept going, slowly, like it was memorizing the route. I stood in the driveway pretending to scroll on my phone, listening for the engine to return. But it didn't. Just stillness, porch lights, a neighbor's TV flickering through a curtain. Inside, Hannah was on the couch watching some cooking show. I told her what happened. She laughed it off. "Probably just lost," she said. I tried to believe her, but that night, something woke me up around 2:46 a.m. My phone buzzed next to me, a notification from the Ring camera on our front porch. Motion detected. I opened the app. The live feed showed the porch, quiet and empty. My stomach unclenched a bit, probably a raccoon or something, but when I scrolled back to check the clip, I froze. For 2 seconds, you could see part of someone walking past, just the edge of a jacket sleeve, a dark shape moving across the farthest side of the frame. No face, no real detail, but unmistakably someone. I watched it again and again. Same clip, same slow stride. He wasn't looking at the door. He wasn't trying to get in, just passing, like he wanted to be seen, just enough. I didn't sleep after that. The camera didn't catch anything else, but I checked the app every few minutes like an addiction. Every creak of the house had me holding my breath. The next afternoon, I got home a little early, just after 4:30. Hannah was out again, and when I went to grab a package from the front porch, I noticed something under the mat. It was a folded piece of printer paper, creased into a triangle like we used to do in grade school. No name, no writing, just a crude drawing done in black ink. One stick figure inside a square, another one outside. Watching, I just stood there staring at it. The world went quiet. You know how sometimes you get that feeling like your body already knows something your brain hasn't processed? That's what it felt like. I left it there, just walked inside, locked every door and window, and double-checked the back patio even though no one ever used it. That night, Hannah was out again. I didn't want to seem paranoid, so I didn't say anything. At exactly 11:57 p.m., I got another Ring alert. Motion detected. My hands were shaking when I opened the app. There he was. This time, the figure stepped fully into view. Still no face, hood pulled down low, hands in the pockets of a long coat or sweatshirt. He moved slowly, deliberately, like he was performing. He leaned toward the camera, so close I thought he might press his face to the lens. Instead, he raised his hand and waved. I felt like I was going to throw up. I called the police. They showed up 20 minutes later. Of course, he was gone by then. They were nice enough, but didn't seem too worried. "Could be a prank," one of them said. "Halloween's coming up." I showed them the footage and the note. One officer raised an eyebrow. "We'll patrol the area," he said, "but unless he tries to break in, there's not a lot we can do." I didn't sleep that night either. I started leaving all the lights on. I barely went outside. And then came the worst night. I woke up at 3:04 a.m., but this time there was no notification, no buzz, just silence. Until I noticed the hallway light was on. I never leave it on. Ever. I sat up slowly, heart pounding. I grabbed my phone, but the Ring app said, "No signal, camera offline." I got out of bed and crept to my door, every step sending shock waves through my limbs. I pressed my ear to the wood and heard breathing, slow, controlled, like someone was trying not to make a sound. That's when I knew he was inside. I felt a scream get caught in my throat. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I texted Hannah even though I knew she wasn't home. Then I typed out 911. But before I could hit call, the breathing stopped, and I heard footsteps, not running, just calm footsteps, walking down the hallway. Then a click. The front door opened and shut. I finally called the cops. This time they searched everything, every room, nothing, no forced entry, no tampering with the windows, just nothing. But they did notice something. The hallway light switch had been unscrewed slightly, like someone had messed with it just enough to make it flicker before fully turning on. The Ring camera came back online later that morning. All the footage from the night before, gone. I moved out 3 days later, packed up, left the deposit behind, and didn't care. The police said there was nothing else to do unless he came back, but he hasn't. At least, not that I know of. Hannah told me a few weeks ago she thought she saw the same SUV again, same street, same weird angle parked just out of view of her new place. She didn't tell me right away because she didn't want to scare me. I don't blame her. But now I sleep with my phone on loud, a baseball bat next to the bed, and every lock double-checked. I still don't know how he got in, or why. And the part that haunts me more than anything, I never saw his face. Not once. Just the sound of his breathing,